so there's really no excuse not to listen to the Neil Archer Show. What up, chaps? God, it's hot here. Been languishing in the heat for the last couple of days, and I was reading an article today about the Amber Alert. Now, the Met Office, who are the sort of government or official weather forecasters, followers, whatever, the Met Office has allegedly issued an Amber Alert. Now, there's yellow alerts, amber alerts, and red alerts. So amber is like in the middle, but it's more severe than yellow. And I mean, we get quite a lot of yellow alerts, but amber is pretty unusual. So they've issued this Amber Alert over what they call killer temperatures. Government scientists sound alarm as Britain is set to hit 34 degrees on the hottest weekend of the year. Well, it's interesting. Now, I use the BBC weather app, and that normally has all these alerts on it. And currently there's nothing there. So I don't know whether the BBC News are telling porkies. Also, 33 is not that high. So this is all part of their attempt to frighten everybody into this climate change thing. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, that's really just a side issue. I wasn't even intending to talk about that, to be honest. The main thing that I wanted to look at today was the way in which media in the UK, particularly an awful newspaper called The Guardian, who I see Viva Fry has just had a spat with because of some of the things the lies that they tell. And there's an article here today about Donald Trump and his first 5 months in control. And this is an example of the way in which a lot of UK people get their information about Donald Trump. And I see an awful lot of people over here that are they're anti-Trump, but to be perfectly frank, they don't know what they're talking about because they pick up all their information from places like this, The Guardian. Now, most of our press, most of our TV news channels are exactly the same as The Guardian, although The Guardian is probably the worst. Anyway, it says Donald Trump, he's moving at a truly alarming speed. Trump propels US into authoritarianism. And then they start to talk about one or two things that we all know have happened in recent days. A senator handcuffed, people snatched in public. Well, now, these things, there's no context. And it's made to sound a lot more authoritarian and aggressive and what have you than it really is. Military deployed. Trump's slide towards autocracy has come quicker than critics feared. Okay, so the senator that was handcuffed was a chap called Alex Padilla, and he apparently burst into a press conference that was being held by excuse me, Kirsty Noem, and started to shout questions and kind of lunge towards her. So her security, quite rightly, he never told anybody who he was. He just literally, it's almost as if he wanted a scene to develop for whatever political reason. So they grabbed him, dragged him out into the hallway, put him down on his face and started to put his hands behind his back, handcuff him. And then he revealed that he was a senator, and he was let go. And later on that day, Noem met him in a separate room somewhere, and they had a 15-minute conversation. And this is from, I mean, I've actually seen her interviewed, and that's what she said. That's her version of of what happened. So, but you wouldn't know that from this article. And then people snatched in public. Well, the people who are being arrested rather than snatched are illegal immigrants, most of whom have some kind of violent background or drug running or what have you. So that's it's not, the way this reads is that they're just taking random people off the street. Military deployed. Well, the National Guard and some military have been deployed, I believe, to quell the riots in LA. But that's perfectly legally. And we all know that California's an absolute Democrat shithole. So this guy carries on. It says it reads like a checklist of milestones on the road to autocracy. A succession of opposition politicians. I don't know quite where he gets a succession from, including Alex Padilla, a US senator, are handcuffed and arrested by heavy-handed law enforcement. I believe there have been one or two people arrested for trying to stop ICE members in their line of duty, which is illegal. So they've been arrested. It says a judge is arrested in her own courthouse and charged with helping a defendant to evade arrest. Well, she did. She actually, it's been documented, ICE people came to arrest this chap who was already in court for something or other, and she let him basically out the back door, and she held up the ICE people while he escaped out the back. Anyway, carries. It's also, I mean, I'm overrunning my time. That carries on and carries on and carries on, and yet basically Trump is doing only what he was elected to do. He ran on deporting all the illegals, and that's what he's doing. I mean, the final thing I wanted to say is that in the UK, Labour-controlled Parliament votes to decriminalise late-term abortions up to birth, which I think is absolutely disgusting. And it presumably means that under certain circumstances, Starmer and his cronies know exactly what a woman is. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. Well done if you got this far. And it was a bit of a long one. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers for now.